What's going on, everybody? Welcome here with Finch to the SCL recap, where I'm just going to go through, pretty quickly what happened throughout the SCL day, since it's a stacked day on those Mondays. That way you know everything that went on with those matches, or at least the details on who won, and can have a good idea going into the next week. So that first matchup, that was Rival up against Retribution over there in EU on the Xbox side. And this time it looked like Rival had a bit of a return to form, I would say, up against Retribution. They looked like the squad that we remembered them as. They struggled a bit earlier on, but were finally able to come back in and look dominant. They're the top team in Europe right now. They look sluggish a little bit, but they've been able to sort of clean things up. What worked for them in particular was that Retribution drafted like double hunters, early aggression the entire time, but Rival really let them get far enough into the lead to make that work. I really think Predators in particular is the one that is a key for them here. He survives a tier 1 tower dive. They grab the FG. They're able to win the game right on the back of that play, and that kind of waterfalled the whole thing in Rival's favor, at least for game 1. Game 2 was a relatively similar affair. They got all of their comfort picks. They essentially picked their top 5 gods, I would say, in each role, and just kind of ran over Retribution in that one. So Rival get the 2-0 and end up looking strong. But that's just the Europe side of Xbox. Remember, we got Xbox, PS4, NA, EU in both regions, so I'm trying to keep it all in order for you. On the NA side, it was Astral Authority up against Elevate, and they get the 2-0 here as well. This one, not too much of a surprise. If Rival are the top dog in Europe, then Astro might just be the top dog on sticks in general, and they kind of looked like it up against Elevate. They started out good in game 1, Elevate did, up against Astro, but they just couldn't hold on. The Summer Champs proved to be a little bit too strong for them, especially off Layers and Wolves' strong initiation, and a hot pentakill comes in for Baronic. I think you're going to take a look at that one here, that he was able to get to close that game out. Game 2 would be pretty close as well, but one more time, Wolves and Layers kind of just stood up for me. They were the ones who I felt like were the big performers in this game, but I mean, I was Baronic who's the one that got that hot play towards the end, so certainly that pentakill is going to live on in our minds on the back of that one. Good on Baronic to be able to grab it. Let's go ahead and switch on over to PS4, though. We'll be back in Europe. This one was Playing Ducks up against Insomnia, and I'm a big Playing Ducks fan. I've just been won over by that logo at the very least on this one. But game 1, Insomnia kind of just do their thing. They're stealing away objectives the whole time. They slowly build a lead over Playing Ducks, and they're able to get away from that early competition that Playing Ducks had. But game 2 and 3, that was an entirely different story. Playing Ducks kind of drag Insomnia down into the mud with them, and they play their sort of, it's like a chaotic team fight sort of, we're not sure what objectives are, we're just going to hang around in your jungle type strategy and force you to fight us. And Insomnia kept getting pulled down into it, so it didn't end up working for them. Playing Ducks in a 2-1 are able to grab their first victory here in fall. Again, PS4 just started. It's hard to really know who the favorites are in any of these matches yet. We're really getting more familiar with these teams, but at least from what I saw there, Playing Ducks look pretty strong when they can force you to play their game. The final set of the day, that was Evil Lemons going up against Strictly Business. This is PS4 on the North American side, and if you're familiar with Xbox, then these players shouldn't be entirely unfamiliar with you. Some of these names are players who have come over from the Xbox scene, or trying to establish their dominance on the PS4 side, and so far it's looking like it's working. Evil Lemons were the ones who were able to come out on top 2-1, and in particular, I had myself looking towards relating on this one for having a good set, at least for Evil Lemons out of the jungle. He's so often the one that kind of facilitates for them, and yeah, look at that. Alex knows what he's doing. That's the exact right clip coming up for him. He knew what to look at, who can get things going. And it didn't all, and they weren't in the lead the whole time. This was a rough set for Evil Lemons. They had to come back for some early deficits that they kind of set themselves up for. They had to bounce back from some of their losses. And I think that's where a little bit of the experience that they had was able to come back in and help them out in this set. So Evil Lemons, the ones able to come out on top of Strictly Business, really throughout console. I mean, we had so many exciting sets. I love getting to watch these console players play. PS4 who are developing, and Xbox who are already strong at this point. We got to see Rival and Astral, a rivalry that's brewing right underneath the surface, and I can't wait to watch them play. But again, that is going to do it for the SCL recap. It was all the games that we ended up broadcasting last Monday. If you missed them, I hope this recap caught you up to speed. Make sure you check us out next Monday when we go through all those games one more time. And again, thanks for checking us out.